Hello everyone! Today I want to talk about Nabia, the water goddess. I want to start by saying that Nabia was worshipped by the Gallaecians, Lusitanians, Asturians and Vettonians. So let's take a look at her etymology. Her name appears in two forms, Nabia and Nabia, one with a V and one with a B, but Nabia with a B is more common. She is associated with water, which is hinted by the fact that her name is really close to the Sanskrit language word for navigable river Navaya. Sanskrit is an Indo-European language, and the Proto-Indo-European word that she also seems to derive from is nehus, which means swimming or floating one. Her name also seems to be connected with valleys when you look at the Spanish word nava, which is something like a flat terrain between valleys. The goddess can also be compared with the Gallaecian Velta, that is believed to mean sun-warmed valley. There are 22 inscriptions with her name on it. They were found near water in mountainous places far from population centers, forested areas and near sacred springs or fountains. Similar to Reve, which you can know more about in my last video, go check it out. Now, in one of those inscriptions, the inscription of Marreco, we get to know a lot about the goddess. In the inscription, Nabi is given oxen, cows, lambs and calves in the 9th day of April, which gives us a fixed date to celebrate the goddess. She is also given a lot of epithets, and I mean a lot of them, in comparison to other Iberian gods. One line reads, Optimae Virgini Conservatrici et nymphae danigom nabiae coronae. The part conservatrici could instead be cornigera. Now, what does that mean? Well, to start, optimize suggests for a supreme celestial function, just like the Roman Juno. The Virgini indicates that Nabia could be a virgin, although we are not very sure about if that's what it's written there. We are not sure if what we are reading is really Virginie or another thing started by a V. The conservatrix indicates a tutelary function, but if it's actually written cornigera instead of conservatici, she might be a horned goddess. The nymphae danigom is doubtless the nymph of the Danigo. Danigo being the people that were sacrificed to her. Finally, Corona gives us a warrior function. The inscription can be read in another way, that will be Omnia voto consagro et nimbe fero nagom acto nabiae coronae. That, although possible, the first way it was read is more accepted by the scholars that study this. She's sometimes related with Jupiter, but probably Rio was originally Nabia's consort, which shows some degree of romanization. Nabia was also stated to have a supreme goddess status, which makes the union with Reve only more plausible. On the other hand, in the inscription of Gutin, Nabia is seen with a crescent moon carved, which leads us to think that she might also have some chthonic and funerary functions alongside her celestial ones, probably connected with the river that separates the underworld from everything else. I talked about how I personally view the underworld in my first video. You should check it out. Actually, I made a mistake of saying that it was the Iberian paganism perspective. It isn't, it is just my perspective on it, and I'm sorry if I fooled any of you. Moving on. There is also an inscription in the fountain of the idol where we can read Tongus Nabiacus. If you accept that Tongus means I swear, Nabia might be also the goddess of the oaths. Tongus might also be a local god, and Nabiacus refers to a mountain range near the fountain of the idol. Recent studies of Rafael Quintia show us that Nabia might have been Christianized under the name of Saint Marinha. The saint is a protector of communities and is greatly associated with nature, water and fertility. The saint itself was said to be born in Aguas Santas, which means holy waters. When the saint was said to be decapitated, it is said that 3 fountains rose from the place she died. Quintia talks more about the Christianization of Nabia in his book. If you want to celebrate Nabia in modern times, you should do it on the 9th of April, just like the ancient ones. Animals that are greatly associated with Nabia are the dove, as you can see in the fountain of the idol. But other animals that might just work well are the egret, the great cormorant, the osprey and the bear. Nabia can also be tied to locations if you want them blessed by the goddess. You can do so by adding epithets after a name during prayers or inscriptions. For example, if you wanted to bless Portugal, you would say Nabia Portoscalensis, as adding the root word for Portugal after the goddess. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you liked it. If you did, press the like button below and don't forget to subscribe. See you next week. Bye!